Thank you, Mr. Stauber. Next, I'd like to turn to the gentlewoman from New Mexico for 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you so much, Chairman Tiffany, Ranking Member Neguse, and for the members on this conversation. As you know, I always look forward to it when we have the bipartisan support for including tribes, recognizing them as sovereign nations, and that we must include them in our various legislation to ensure that they are able to take care of and participate as sovereign nations in our many programs that we have on the federal level. Thank you so very much for your testimony. I'm also really pleased to have in today's hearing the inclusion of ranking members Forest Service Flexible Housing Partnership Act, because affordable housing is important everywhere I go in my district. As we know, the issue of affordable housing is important across this country. Workforce housing is very, very important. I focused on that both before I got to Congress and then when I'm able to through our community projects, through our congressionally supported projects, and in places that are really gorgeous and beautiful. It's sometimes even harder, right? Because the market prices, regular folks just out of the market. And so in places like Santa Fe and Taos, we really see that as very important. Mr. Heithacker, can you discuss a little bit more about the ability to lease administrative sites that would benefit the Forest Service and what that looks like on the ground?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the question. It is it's a unique authority for us. I mean, just think about it. If you're a private landowner and you want to lease part of your property, let somebody else build a house and have other people live there. I mean, it's just the complexities of working that out. It's an interesting arrangement. So the authorities given within that act are really they're new. We're trying to figure those out, and we're learning as we go. But that exact situation is what we're working on in Dillon, Colorado, which is we have a chunk of administrative land that's being underutilized. We have both the city, the county, state, and the Forest Service who have employees that can't afford housing there. So through that authority, we're allowed to lease the land to the city in this case and have them build housing to basically offset the cost of that lease. They allow us to have our employees stay there. So it's a really beneficial, mutually agreeable arrangement that provides affordable housing to both the city of Dillon and the Forest Service. And also in Colorado, we're working with another group to look at another model to work directly with the state on how we can accomplish that in other communities throughout that area and others in the country.
Right, and I look forward to you looking at sites in New Mexico because
Absolutely.
I think the ability to utilize lands that are available to their best purpose is part of that. Touch a little bit about, you said how the complexities of doing it. What does it do in terms of being able to recruit and retain employees to know that they will have housing close by? Because if they don't have it there, what would a commute look like?
Well, it's really one of the biggest challenges we have, as I mentioned, in addition to firefighter pay. But if you're a firefighter coming in, you're working these really long and grueling shifts, really risking your life in many cases. And folks can't afford to, folks live in their cars. I mean, that's what they're up against in some of these communities. I mean, the community of Dillon in itself, Summit County in general, is one of the more expensive areas that we have employees. And the fact that we can create at least some solution to allow folks across these other sectors to live there and be able to afford to live there. I mean, it's a night and day experience for them, a game changer from my perspective.
And I think that touching upon that, we are asking somebody to risk their lives to help protect our forests, because they are often, there's lots of important reasons to suppress, to address wildfires, but they're sleeping in their cars. Yeah. Right, and this is the same thing in terms of when we're looking at pay, right, and making sure that we have presumptions with regard to the illnesses that they cover. So I think that recognizing there is a wide range of needs that those who are at greatest risk need, that ranging from housing to pay to the presumptions with regards to illness is very important. So thank you for answering those questions, and thank you for introducing the bill. And with that, I yield back.
The gentlewoman yields.